Yeah, good. Yeah, I would have, yeah. Except for me. That'll be mine. I'll be stuck on YouTube forever. That's fine. Yeah. And the request is that you do just what feels right for you. Yeah. Don't feel. I think it's a pretty And since they're filming, I'll need to stay here and but there's a possibility. In introduction, yeah, and then there are some videos online that you can access that way too.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Relaxing Floor Yoga with Wild Honey Yoga. My name is Catherine. I'm one of the librarians here at Portage District Library, and I'm delighted to welcome Gina Greene, who's going to be teaching our class. Gina is the curator behind the Wild Honey Into Being project. Its goal is to provide accessible, gentle practice that encourages listening, curiosity, and care. She's going to guide you through a practice connect to your body, breath, mind, and heart. This session will begin with an appreciation for the breath, followed by a little friendly movement. Participants will release tension, invite softening, and visit the loving, calm quiet of an hour of gentle stretching. So if you're tuning in at home, you can actually check out the Into Being project. Gina's website is listed in the description, and if you have any questions or comments you want me to share with Gina, feel free to put them in the chat and we'll pass those along. Gina has been enjoying the practice of yoga for over 20 years. She began teaching 18 years ago upon request and hasn't turned away from the invitation since. She has completed her 500 hours of yoga teacher training with her wise and dedicated teacher, Melissa Spammer. She's also a practicing massage therapist and has learned how deeply the body needs time and encouragement to unwind, gentle, and soften in order to access the deeper movement of healing and rejuvenation. Just a note, by participating in this program in person or online, you are taking responsibility for your own body. Every body is unique and different, and we encourage you to only participate in what feels safe for your body and circumstances. So enjoy this session of floor yoga. Take it away, Gina.
Thank you, Catherine. I first want to offer up my deepest gratitude for the Arts Council of Greater Kalamazoo for supporting the Wild Honey Into Being project. They've made it possible for me to start the project and continue, and it's almost all up and ready online, so hopefully you'll check back or check it out at some point or share with others. Today we're going to be exploring floor yoga, which is a really wonderful way into the breath and the body.
Yoga is a Sanskrit word that means to yoke or to unite, to bring together or to create connection. So for me, it's about relationship with the body, the breath, the mind, and the heart. And when we begin to understand and explore that relationship, we get better at creating relationship outside of ourselves, with each other, with our communities, with the whole of the universe. So it starts on the mat, and it starts with the breath. So that's where we're going to start today. And hopefully the breath will bring us into the experience of the body a little bit more. And so we'll be playing with the movement of the breath and the movement of the body and bringing them together. And then we can hopefully find the mind settling a little more deeply into the experience and opening up into that wise, calm, loving, warm experience of heart-centered space. Yeah. All right. So we're going to start on our backs, and we're going to start in partial recline. And we're going to begin by paying attention to the breath. Yeah. So when we come into partial recline, we bring the heels underneath the knees and soles of feet to the mat. Yeah. We're going to zigzag the feet out just a little bit. So if you turn your toes out first and then turn your heels out, you can drop the knees in so that they can rest one on the other, sort of steepled. Mm-hmm. And we'll bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. So somewhere up in that sternum area, but resting down through the elbow. And we'll take a nice full inhalation and then exhale everything. And you might try it with an audible sigh. The audible sigh helps stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. It helps us move into a experience of relaxation. So inhale, full breath. Exhale everything with an audible sigh, with a nice inhale, full breath. And then we can just soften into the experience of the breath. So if it's comfortable for you, you can close the eyes, directing your awareness into the experience of the body. And notice how the breath feels. Notice where you feel the breath. In the practice of yoga, we invite the breath to move in and out through the nostrils, if possible. So you might notice the sensation of breath moving into the nostrils. You might notice the breath moving and touching the soft palate. You might notice the breath filling the lungs. You might notice the movement of the body around the breath. The rise and fall of the belly, the diaphragm descending, then releasing. Rib cage lifting, spreading, softening back in. And as you bring attention to the sensation of the breath, you might notice the rhythm of the breath beginning to shift and change. The breath really appreciates our attention. And we will continue to invite the breath to deepen and slow. Moving into a breath rhythm called complete breath. On your next exhalation, you can try to gently draw the navel down toward the spine, right at the tail end of the exhale. On the inhalation, release any effort there. Let the breath fill the lungs. You might imagine it filling first lower lungs and then middle lungs. And then again, exhaling completely, navel drawing gently down toward the spine. And we are hoping to experience a rhythm of the breath that feels doable, that feels soft and reachable. Yeah. So letting it be as full and wide as your body is ready for it to be. Yeah. And then we'll be inviting the breath to move along with the movement of the body. So on our next exhalation, as you're ready, we'll release the arms to the sides. Excuse me. Turning palms to sky. We'll widen the knees and zigzag the feet back in so that the heels land underneath the knees. And we'll invite the feet to be parallel, hips distance apart. From here, can we lift the toes up off of the mat? And see if we can direct our attention down into the base of the big toe. So we're going to settle the base of the big toes down into the mat, hold steady there, and then widen out so that we can also settle down through the base of the pinky toes. We can feel into the inner heels and outer heels as well. So these are the 4 points of the feet. And as we settle down and pay attention, we're waking up the muscles of the feet here, as well as inner thighs, all the way up to the pelvic floor. I'd like to begin to move the pelvis with the breath here, staying alert through the feet and the inner thighs, if possible. So on our next inhalation, we're going to tilt the pelvis forward. We lift the top of the pelvis up towards sky, excuse me, and move the tailbone down toward the mat. On the exhalation, we're going to draw the sacrum back down. So inhale, tilting pelvis forward, lifting up through the top or the lumbar spine area. And on the exhalation, drawing the sacrum back down, moving down a little through that lumbar area. So on our inhalation, diaphragm is descending, pelvic floor is descending. On our exhalation, they're both lifting back up. Inhale, tilting forward. Exhale, drawing back. One more time. Inhale, tilting forward. Nice. And exhale, drawing back. Then we're going to release the effort at the pelvis. And we're going to reach the arms out to the sides and then all the way up overhead. Reaching fingers towards the wall behind us. Palms are turning midline. Shoulders are going to press away from the ears. And we can rock the head a little, side to side here. We'll bring the gaze back to center and relax the arms overhead. So bending at the elbows, letting them rest down. So if you have any difficulty in the shoulders, you could adjust the arms out, but it might be even better to try a little blanket or something overhead that brings your arms a little higher to take the pressure off the shoulder joint. It's up to you. We're going to press down through the back of the left shoulder, so left shoulder blade grounding down. And we'll turn the head the tiniest bit to the right. We'll check back in with that left shoulder blade, grounding it down. I'm going to pause for the inhalation. And on the exhalation, we might reach the chin gently away from the shoulder. So for me, it's a bit of a diagonal reach up and over. And what I'm looking for is a sense of stretch down into the back of the shoulder blade area. And as soon as I find the stretch, I'm going to pause and breathe. So it's less about how far you could turn the head and more about a sensation of stretch, of pull from the shoulder blade toward the spine, and then softening around that stretch. So we'll inhale, gaze back to center, and release the effort on that left side, and move it over to the right. So pressing down through the back of the right shoulder, and turning the head the tiniest bit to the left. We'll pause, press back down through the shoulder, hold steady, inhale. And on the exhalation, gently turning the head just a little bit more, reaching through the chin a little, looking for a place, a point that helps you experience a sense of stretch to the inner edge of the right shoulder blade. As you find the stretch, pause and feel back into the breath. Inhaling back to center with the gaze. We can relax the effort through both shoulders, maybe shimmy a little at the heart center. Then we're going to clasp the hands and bring the hands underneath the cranium so that we can hold the cranium with the hands. On our inhalation, we can lift up through the navel center. And on the exhalation, we'll pull the navel down toward the spine, and we'll move the spine, the lower spine, down toward the mat. So we'll try that again. Inhale, release the effort at the navel. Maybe lift up a little arch in the lumbar spine. Exhale, navel pulls down toward the spine and spine moves down toward the mat. Inhale, release the effort. So you could continue with that movement or you could add on. So exhale, navel to the spine, spine moving toward the mat. Hold steady through that navel center and perhaps curl up, elbows toward the knees. Supporting the weight of the head as we lower down. We inhale, release the effort. Exhale, pull navel down, hold steady through the navel, curl up through the middle and upper back. Lowering down through the spine, we inhale. Exhale, navel presses down, and we might curl up, elbows toward the knees. Lowering down to inhale. Just a few more times, noticing how it's feeling in the body. Noticing if you begin to move into a little more effort. Can we balance out the effort with the breath with some ease? And the next time that we lower down, we're going to keep this grip on the cranium and draw the base of the cranium toward the upper edge of the mat, tractioning the cervical spine. Just gently pulling the base of the cranium toward the upper edge of the mat, softening the chin down toward the front of the throat, releasing any tension in the jaw. Let there be space between the teeth. And then we can lower the head gently down and reach the arms straight out from the shoulders. Inhale here. On the exhalation, we're going to lower the knees about halfway to the left. You can feel the inside of the right foot, outside of the left foot, back of the right shoulder grounding down. Inhale. On the exhalation, we're going to reach the knees away from the hips, lengthening through the thighs, still grounding through that right shoulder. We'll find a nice inhale here. And on an exhalation, we can slowly turn the head toward the right. Reach out through the arms, palms and fingers, so we're waking up the hands, stretching from the center line of the body out through the arms. Notice the breath here. Nice full inhalation, exhaling completely. One more breath. And inhale, knees and gaze through center. Exhale, lowering the knees halfway to the right. You can feel inside of left foot, outside of right foot, back of left shoulder grounding down. Inhale. On the exhalation, reach the knees and thighs away from the hip, lengthening through the front of the thighs. Inhale. On an exhalation, gently turning head toward the left, reaching out through the arms and palms. You can wake up the hands a little, spread the fingers, and notice the fullness of the breath here. Inhale, knees and gaze through center. And then we'll just flow a little from side to side. So on an exhalation, lowering knees about halfway to one side and gently turning the head away. Inhaling, coming through center, knees and gaze. Exhale, lowering knees to the other side, turning head away. So it's a gentle flowing movement with the breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, gentle twist. Let it feel good for your body. Notice if your arms want to stay where they are, palms to sky. If you want to try palms to the mat, that changes up the connective tissue pull into the forearms. When I explore this flow, I often like to bring my arms overhead, sort of that getting out of bed stretch, unwinding and moving through the connective tissue. Might encourage you to yawn a little. And the next time that we lower knees to the right and come back to center, we'll bring the knees up and into the chest. And if we can, we'll curl up forehead toward the knees. This helps us reset the spine after twisting. And then we'll lower through the spine and head, and we can take some circles with the knees here. Just circling in one direction a few times. Might feel that in the hips or glute area, sacrum, low back. And then we'll circle it in the opposite direction. Coming back to center. We can lower the feet down, and we'll just see, can we lower the toes first and then the balls of the feet, and then the heels. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. And from here, we'll stretch the left leg long, and we're going to move into leg lifts. So on our inhalation, we'll draw the right leg up to sky. We can flex at the hip and flex at the ankle, and we might need to bend the knee quite a bit depending on how long or short our hamstring muscles are. Okay. Exhale, reach the leg out and down toward the mat, but hopefully without quite touching. Inhale, lifting the leg back up to sky. Okay. So first we're going to find breath and movement. So inhale, lift. Exhale, reach and lower. Inhale, lift. So your breath to movement, right? Not mine. And then can we also stay nice and level through the pelvis as we reach the leg out and down? So we have to use some deeper abdominal muscles here, the corset muscles, in order to hold the pelvis steady. So we're strengthening, we're warming, and we're stretching. Next time that we draw that left leg up to sky, we're going to pause. We're going to bend the knee. We're going to bring the hands behind the thigh, and we want them right in the middle, the belly of the muscle. So somewhere halfway between the knee and the hip is where we want our hands to land. We're going to bend the knee, taking pressure off the hamstring muscles, and we're going to tug the thigh in toward the belly a little so that we can say good morning. It is morning today, right now, depending on when you watch it, I don't know. But greeting the hamstring muscles, nice. And from here, can we soften the neck? Can we soften the shoulders? Just noticing if they're trying to help. And then we'll take some ankle rolls. So slow, wide circles with the ankle. Feeling into the lower leg. And then we'll take that circling movement in the opposite direction. Coming back to the center point, we're going to move our attention from hamstring muscles to the calf muscles. And we do that by drawing the toes first, the toes down toward the shin, and we're going to press the heel up to sky. And as you feel that stretch, for some of us more intense than others, you're going to want to check back in. Forehead soften, jaw soften, neck soften, shoulders relaxing. And can we breathe as we feel into, pay attention to the calf area. Next exhalation, releasing at the ankle. We can wobble it a little bit here. Yeah. And then we're going to stretch the right leg long on the mat while we continue to reach up through the left leg. Yeah. And if it works for you, we're going to inhale, flex both ankles, and then exhale, point through both feet. Inhale, flexing at the ankles. Exhale, pointing through the feet. So with your breath, noticing the movement of the feet here, what's possible. And the next time that we're moving toward the point position, we're going to pause just a little shy. And we're going to press or wake up the balls of the feet and try to spread the toes a little bit. So we're going to drop nice and steady through the pelvis and reach out through both legs. Now this is going to look different in different bodies, depending again on how things are feeling on that back plane. Right? Some of us are going to have to keep the knees bent. Some of us can be nice and long. And some of us can take it a little deeper. Steady pelvis, long reaching legs. If you're wanting to deepen the stretch a little more through the hamstring on this left side, you can engage more through the front of the left thigh, as if you were going to lift the kneecap up toward your hip. Noticing the breath here. And noticing how you are responding to this pose, mentally, physically. Are you being friendly and kind to your body? Inhale, full breath on the next exhalation. We're going to slowly lower the left leg down with control. And as we lower the left leg down to the mat, we're going to turn the toes in toward each other and then out toward the edges of the mat. And then we're going to do that a few times a little more quickly. In and out and in and out and in and out and in and relax. And as you relax down, easy in the hips here, notice how you feel on the left side. Notice how you feel on the right side. Notice if you're holding any tension here. And then we're going to bend the left knee and bring the sole of the left foot to the mat and move into leg lifts on the right side. So we'll inhale, right leg up to sky with a flex, hip and ankle. And exhale, reach it out and down without quite touching. Inhale, drawing the leg up. Nice steady pelvis here as we reach the leg out and down. Allowing the rhythm of your breath to support the movement of the body, to move with the rhythm of the body. Next time we draw the right leg up to sky, we're going to bend the knee. We're going to bring the hands midway between the hip and the knee. Tug gently in. Greet the hamstring muscles. Soften through the upper body. At any time you can explore that audible sigh if you feel like there's a little tension that's ready to be released. A little bit of a can be helpful. Ankle rolls here. And opposite direction. Nice firm flex at the ankle. We'll press up through the heel. We'll draw the toes toward the shin. Again, softening through the upper body. Noticing the breath. Releasing at the ankle, wobbling a little bit. You can stretch left leg long. And we'll inhale, flex both ankles. Exhale, point through both feet. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. And 2 more times with your breath. Sending a little love to your feet. As we move towards the point, this time let's press into the balls of both feet. Wake up the toes. Drop down through the pelvis. Reach a little longer through the legs. So we're really saying hello to the whole of the back of the right leg. Yeah. Deciding where that stretch wants to be in our bodies today, if we want to engage a little more through the front of that right thigh or not. Letting the breath be steady and full. And next exhalation, we can lower the right leg all the way down. And then we're going to turn the toes in and out and in and out and in and out and in and relax. Noticing how you feel, right side, left side. And then we're going to bend the knees, coming back into partial recline. Yeah. And we're going to move into a few bridge rolls. So as we lift and lower into our bridge, one of the things that we need to do is to make sure that, that we have space underneath the cervical spine. So we're going to first track our feet, so heels underneath the knees, inviting feet to be parallel. And then we'll lift the hips up off of the mat just a little bit. And as we lift the hips, we're going to take one hand and just make sure there's space between the cervical spine. So if there isn't space, we're just going to rest down and wait for the next pose. If there is space, we'll pay a little more attention to alignment cues here, okay? So if there's space underneath the cervical spine, we can rest the arms to the sides. We could turn the palms to sky, really opening a little bit more through the front of the chest and shoulders. We're going to think about inner thighs moving toward each other just a little bit so that we're engaging the inner thighs, keeping knees tracking in line with the hips. So hips and knees and heels are all in the same alignment, like alignment plane. Then we're going to notice the feet, press a little into the feet. As you do that, you'll feel weight moving up towards your shoulders, up towards your cranium. And we want to counteract that by reaching out through the thighs, moving the pelvis toward the knees. You could think about pubic bone or sits bones. We're really engaging through the leg muscles and reaching, pulling the pelvis away from the ribs. Here. So we can inhale here, and on the exhalation, lower down through the spine. So try to lower vertebra by vertebra, top to bottom. Inhale, lifting up through the pelvis. As we lift up, we engage the inner thighs. We're going to reach the pelvis toward the knees. And as we exhale, we'll lower down vertebra by vertebra. And some lovely articulation through the spine, warming it up, also creating this lovely strength into the thighs. And an opening up into the middle chest area. Inhale, drawing up. And we can control, the experience that we're having in the spine by how far we lift the spine or how far we lift the pelvis. And one more time. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, slowly lowering vertebra by vertebra. As we lower down this time, let's bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees out. So reclined butterfly. Soles of feet together, knees softening, opening out and down. Yeah. Inhale, nice full breath, and on the exhalation, let's turn the head gently toward the right and reach out just a little bit through that right thigh or knee. And if that doesn't make any sense, just let it go. But it can help us get into the inner thigh, groin area, just a little different way. Inhaling back to center with the gaze. And on an exhalation, slowly turning head toward the left, reaching gently out through the left thigh knee. And coming back to center. We'll pause here for a few breaths, allowing the inner thigh, groin area to stretch and open. Gravity assisting here. And then we'll slowly draw the knees up to sky, planting the feet again back to partial recline. We'll be lifting the knees up and in toward the body, and we're going to try to come into happy baby pose. So the hands come in between the legs over the arches of the feet, and then we draw the ankles over the knees. It's a squat position, but on the back. Now, this isn't, not everybody can reach their feet. Some folks like to hold the pant legs or just outside of the calf area. Yeah, so there are different ways to get in. And then as we get here, we can try some different things. One is to hold on foot and give it a little shake and try to get up into that hip area. Oh yeah, it's okay to be here. And then try that on the other side. And see if we can't drop down through the sacrum, the triangular bone at the base of the spine here. And we could rock a little. So lowering one thigh knee toward the mat and then the other. And sometimes rocking and reaching sounds like a good idea, where we drop one heel in toward the buttock and extend out through the opposite leg heel. Come back through the squat position and then reach out through the other side. And coming back to center when you feel balanced and ready in that squat position. Some folks who are flexi-bendy might really want to come into a wide V pose, but only if that feels like the thing to do, okay? Not essential. And then we can lower the feet back to partial recline. Toes, balls of feet, heels if you can. And we'll move into the heart pulse. Moving the lymph flow, the cerebral spinal fluid, and stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system response. So we're pressing down toward the balls of the feet and then releasing. Pressing towards the soles of the feet and then releasing. And then we're going to increase the tempo of that so that we can pulse, 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 pulse. Letting the pelvis and the head be easy and responsive to the movement of the legs. So we're rocking sacrum, rocking cranium. This invites us to be playful and to trust a little bit here. So do that for a little bit, and then as we slow, the request is that you turn your attention in and notice the response of the inner body. So we'll slow it down, we'll come to a stop, close the eyes if it's okay, and notice the sensation that ripples through the inner body. It might feel like a good time to allow for another audible sigh. And then from here, slowly, gently, we'll be moving our body into Shavasana, completion for the day. So stretching the legs nice and long. We might do that little rocking movement, toes in and out, to encourage a release at the hips. This is an area where we can use a blanket or a bolster underneath the knees. And that takes pressure off the lower back and can allow us to feel more relaxed and supported. If we tend towards forward head posture and we have our chin up, or we're dealing with sinus things, we might bring a little pillow underneath the head. Just a little bit. That's a little too much for me, but arms to the sides, palms to sky. We can lift one shoulder, tuck it under a little. Lift the other shoulder, tuck it under a little. We might rock the head gently, softening the jaw, allowing softening in the neck and shoulders. So we're going to rest there, and I'm going to talk a little bit to help you stay in an experience with the body here. hopefully an experience of gentling and softening. Mhm. Allowing the body to be heavy on the mat. Letting the breath be easy, relaxed, nice and soft in the belly. And then we'll invite our attention to move down into the feet. Like feeling into your feet. Mm-hmm. Allowing for a sense of gratitude to be present here. Mm. Soft and warm. Inviting the feet to relax. Attention moving to the ankles, the lower legs, the knees. We'll just pause here with our attention. The feeling, sense of gratitude, or perhaps warmth and ease. Inviting the lower legs to relax. Attention moving to the thighs, the fronts, the inner thighs, the back of the thighs, the outer thighs, and all the way up to the hips. Gratitude, warmth and ease, inviting the upper legs, the thighs, the lower legs and the feet to relax. Attention moving to the pelvis, the sacrum, the belly, the spine, the rib cage, inner organs, letting there be a sense of warmth radiating, filling, softening inner body through the torso. Gratitude here. Inviting the belly to relax, the pelvis to relax, the spine to relax. Beautiful. Inviting attention into the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the palms and fingers, extending gratitude through the arms and hands, all that they do for us. Little warmth, and invite the arms to relax. You can bring attention back to the center of the chest area, the heart center, somewhere in between the sternum and the spine. A little gratitude for the wisdom of the heart. And letting the chest relax. You can let the attention move up through the neck to the cranium, softening the scalp and the forehead. Relaxing at the bridge of the nose and the jaw. Gratitude and ease. Allowing the head to be relaxed, the neck to be relaxed. So you might at this point have entered that place of the calm quiet, the realm of the heart, of spaciousness, sense of connection to self and that which is greater than us, that which rests in everything. Sometimes this place of connection is available more easily than others. If we're experiencing particular discomfort in the body, or tension, or busyness of the mind, it can be helpful to notice and invite. Mind to breath. Sometimes adjusting or repositioning the body so that you can create more ease in your experience. Now we're going to begin to deepen and widen the breath. So letting the inhalation lift, fill just a little bit more. Exhaling completely, navel drawing gently toward the spine. And natural inhale, and just letting there be a little more space at the top. And as we encourage the breath rhythm to deepen and widen here, we're moving back toward the complete breath rhythm that we started with today. We can begin to feel into the whole of the body. So out into your fingers, out into your toes. And sort of this journey through the body, kind of dropping deep in and then coming back into the body. So we'll find that movement, fingers and toes. And then we'll begin to stretch a little. We might roll to one side, coming into a position that feels comfortable, sort of a little fetal position is how it's most often described, so that you can so gently move out of this experience of deeper relaxation. Pause there for a few breaths until you feel ready to come on up. And as we come up, you just find a seat that feels okay for the body. We're going to be steady in the legs, steady in the pelvis, and we're going to lift lightly up through the spine, like just up, 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 up. Yeah. And we can bring hands to heart. Nice. And if it's comfortable for you, you can bow the head and just take a moment to honor the journey of the body, the mind, the breath, and the heart. And to invite the calm quiet and the gentleness to move with you through your day, rippling into your life. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah. All right. How was that for you?